Our next guests are from the City of Petaluma. Um, Gosh, I've known Councilman Mike Healy and Mike Harris for so long. I lost track of the terms. I stopped counting after 3. They've been our advocates and your representatives for a very, very long time. I could say that they've always been as well advocates of veterans and the active duty military. And I'm so proud that the city is here as well to honor this tribute and all of you. At this time, I'd like for you to please welcome Councilman Mike Healy and Councilman Mike Harris.
Thank you, Vince. It's 4 terms, actually. But who's counting? There's a reason why at the Butter and Eggs Parade every year the loudest applause is for the Vietnam veterans walking through. And it's always a very emotional moment. And it's a recognition that Americans owe an incredible debt of gratitude to all of the soldiers who went to Vietnam, those who came back and those who didn't. And there's no one to whom we owe a greater debt of gratitude than to those whose names are on the wall behind us here. I've had the privilege of seeing the permanent monument on the National Mall. As Supervisor Rabbit said, it is an incredibly moving experience. This traveling wall is no less moving than the permanent wall back in Washington, D.C. So I'm going to stop here. My colleague, Councilmember Harris, has a proclamation from the city to read to you, and thank you all for being here.
Thank you, and thank you, Mr. Healy. It's my honor to read a proclamation from the City of Petaluma dedicating today as Vietnam Veterans Day on October 10th, 2013. And I'll read it. Whereas we honor the more than 3 million Americans who served, we pay tribute to those who have laid rest, we reaffirm our dedication to showing a generation of veterans the respect and support they deserve. And whereas Americans from every corner of our nation left the warmth of family to serve the country they loved, they won every major battle of the war and upheld the highest traditions of our armed forces. And whereas our veterans answered our country's call and served with honor, and on March 29th, 1973, the last of our troops left Vietnam, and thousands returned home bearing shrapnel and scars. Still more were even burdened by the invisible wounds of post-traumatic stress, of Agent Orange, of memories that would never fade. And whereas more than 58,000 laid down their lives in service to our nation, and now and forever, their names are etched into 2 faces of granite, a lasting memorial to those who bore the conflict's greatest costs. And whereas, in one of the war's most profound tragedies, many of these men and women came home to be shunned or neglected, to face treatment unbefitting their courage and a welcome of unworthy of their example, and we must never let this happen again. And whereas the last half a century, after those helicopters swept off the ground and into the annals of history, we pay tribute to the following: the missing, the wounded, the millions who served, and the millions who awaited their return. And today we reaffirm one of our most fundamental obligations: to show all who have worn the uniform of the United States the respect and dignity they deserve, and to honor their sacrifice by serving them as well as they served us. Now, therefore, be it resolved that David Glass, Mayor of Petaluma, along with the members of the City Council, do hereby proclaim October 10th, 2013 as Vietnam Veterans Day in the City of Petaluma. Our nation stands stronger for their service, and on Vietnam Veterans Day, we honor their proud legacy with our deepest gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.